Eat 5-star. Do nothing. That's literally the life advice this animal has been running on for 64 million years. No ambition, no hustle, no survival instinct worth mentioning. And yet, it's still here. While faster animals went extinct, while stronger species got wiped out, while entire ecosystems collapsed around it, this creature, still hanging. Literally, this should be impossible, because in nature, there are rules, unwritten, unbreakable, rules that every species follows without question. Rule 1, move fast or get eaten. Rule 2, fight hard or disappear. Rule 3, adapt aggressively or go extinct. Every animal on this planet plays by those rules. Except one. Meet the sloth, the animal that looked at millions of years of evolutionary pressure and said, nah. Let's talk about how ridiculous this creature actually is. A sloth moves at a top speed of about 0.03 miles per hour. That's not slow. That's basically a living pause button. To put that in perspective, a garden snail is genuinely faster. A garden snail. The thing you accidentally step on in the rain. If a sloth were crossing a road, traffic would form. And it's not just movement. Everything about this animal operates in slow motion. It takes a sloth up to 30 days to digest a single meal. 30 days. Your food from last month? Still processing. Its body temperature can drop so low it becomes almost cold-blooded. Its heart rate? Around 40 beats per minute when resting. Compare that to a cheetah's heart during a sprint. Over 150. The sloth isn't just slow. It's running on the absolute minimum power required to exist. Like a phone stuck at 1% battery. That somehow never dies. By every biological rule we know, this animal should have been deleted from the planet a long time ago. So why wasn't it? Here's where it gets interesting. Most predators, jaguars, harpy eagles, ocelots, they don't hunt by smell first. They don't hunt by sound first. They hunt by movement. That flicker in the trees. Attack. That rustle in the leaves. Strike. That shadow shifting in the canopy. Game over. Movement is the trigger. Movement is the signal. Movement is what turns you from background noise into a target. And the sloth barely moves. We're talking about an animal that can stay completely frozen on the same branch for up to 15 hours straight. Not sleeping necessarily. Just still. To a jaguar scanning the forest floor, there's nothing there. No flicker. No signal. No reason to look twice. The sloth doesn't outrun the predator. It doesn't fight the predator. It just never becomes visible to the predator. Imagine playing a video game where enemies only attack when they detect motion, and you just stop moving entirely. That's not losing. That's a cheat code. But here is where it gets even stranger. The sloth does not just use stillness as a shield. It takes camouflage to a level that should not be possible for an animal. Because it moves so rarely and lives in such humid conditions, its fur becomes a tiny ecosystem of its own. Algae grows directly on its body. Living algae. On a living animal, its coarse, grooved fur traps moisture, giving the algae exactly what it needs to thrive. And that algae turns the sloth green, not brownish, not dull, actually green. So now you have an animal that barely moves, barely makes sound, barely generates body heat, and is literally the color of the forest around it. From a distance, it does not look like a creature. It looks like a clump of leaves, a patch of moss, a shadow in the canopy. Predators with razor-sharp instincts, built by evolution to hunt, walk directly underneath it and see nothing. Not because they are not trying, but because the sloth has removed itself from their awareness entirely. It is not hiding. It is not fleeing. It is just not there. Now here is the part that changes how you see everything. We live in a world that worships speed. Move fast. Hustle harder. No days off. First mover advantage. Rise and grind. We treat urgency like the only path to survival. In business, in careers, in life. The loudest one gets heard. The fastest one wins. The most aggressive one dominates. But the rainforest does not care about any of that. The rainforest is one of the most competitive ecosystems on Earth. More species per square mile than almost anywhere else. More predators, more hunters, more ruthless competition. And the animal that has lasted 64 million years in that environment did not win by being the fastest, did not win by being the strongest, did not win by being the most aggressive. It won by being the least noticeable. While every other species was optimizing for competition, it optimized for invisibility. And that strategy has outlasted species that were objectively superior on paper. Saber-toothed cats, gone. Woolly mammoths, gone. Giant ground sloths, ironically, also gone. But this animal, still here, still hanging, still not in a rush. There is a lesson buried in this, if you are willing to sit with it. Not everything that looks like weakness is weakness. The sloth's slowness is not a flaw it survived despite. It is the exact mechanism keeping it alive. Its low metabolism means it needs almost no food. So it is never desperate, never forced into dangerous situations just to eat. Its stillness means it is never targeted. So it conserves energy it never needs to spend on escaping. Its camouflage means it is never found. So the chase never even begins. Every single apparent disadvantage loops back into being an advantage. Minimum input, maximum lifespan. While the cheetah burns through its body, sprinting, hunting, competing, stressing, the sloth sits in a tree having the most unbothered existence in the animal kingdom. And here is the final thought. The one that should genuinely stay with you. The sloth has been around since before the dinosaurs disappeared. 64 million years. Ice ages, mass extinctions, continental shifts, asteroid impacts, complete ecological collapse. And this animal's response to all of it was essentially, I will just stay here. And it worked, every single time. So the next time someone tells you to move faster, work harder, be louder, take up more space, just remember the sloth, quietly in its tree, covered in algae, invisible to everything that could hurt it. 64 million years old, unbothered, undefeated, the laziest animal alive, and somehow, the one with the longest survival record on the planet.